Okay, guys, I posed a question earlier to you asking you what you thought the most important of the 4Cs was to our gemologist. Phil, right now I've got Phil. Phil's the one I'm interviewing. We're outside. He's been working in the yard. The dogs are running around. Everywhere we have 4 dogs, you will see Albert putting his big old head up in there. Albert is the diamond dog, of course. So I just posed this question to Phil, and he can talk all day long about diamonds. He loves diamonds. He loves to tell their story. Hey, Albie. Hey, sweet Albie. That's a sweet boy, and they're so sassy. She's dirty. Ippy. There's Ippy. And the other one is up there eating something. I don't know. Okay, Phil, so tell us what you think about the 4Cs and how people can be fooled when they go for just carat weight.
Carat weight is the least important of the 4Cs in my opinion. Simply because if this person wants a 1 carat, this one wants a half carat, this one wants 3 carat. Carat weight is to the individual whatever number one they want, they can afford, what they want in a particular mounting, what the mounting's going to hold. The carat weight is just way down the list of what is important, so to speak. That doesn't mean that that people don't care, but in the grand scheme of things, it's the least important of the 4Cs. Your cut and color, to me, are your 2 big ones. Your color, people think, oh, you gotta have the best color, you gotta have a D color. That's baloney. You can have an M color diamond that's just absolutely knockout gorgeous in the right setting. And if you had a D color in this setting, guess what? It's just not going to be the same. It doesn't look right. Each diamond has its own attributes, and it's got its own beauty levels that come only with this particular diamond. Some people like a little warmth. Some people don't. It's personal taste. I like charcoal gray cars. That doesn't mean everybody's got to like a charcoal gray car. Same thing that goes with diamond colors. Some people like D, some people like G. It's all the person's individual taste. But color, if you're shooting for a colorless diamond and you get an M color, okay, you've missed the mark. You're not going to get something you like. But there again, if you're open-minded and you understand what color really is on a diamond, there's some knockout, beautiful, gorgeous diamonds that are what people consider lower color grades. They're beautiful. And the price points on them are incredible because, well, people kind of shun them to a certain extent. Cut, on the other hand, is extremely important simply because you can have a D color, thank you, Albert, flawless diamond. And if it is not cut correctly, symmetrically, if everything doesn't line up right, if the internal structure is not right, say your diamond has an axis, an internal structure, and the diamond is cut wrong simply because they're trying to conserve carat weight, you've got a dead diamond. I don't care what color and clarity you've called it, it's dead. It's ugly. It's not going to shine. It's not going to be what people think. You don't have to have the greatest color, the greatest cut diamond, but at the same time, you got to have something that's symmetrically pleasing. And internally, it has to be done right by master cutters. So many diamonds are being cut by people who don't know what they're doing, simply to conserve weight and to get a cheap diamond. Cheap is always cheap. That's all there is to it. If it's too good to be true, or it's 40% less than than anything else comparatively is, there's a reason it's that way. I don't care if it is D flawless. There's a reason it's D flawless, and it's half as much as something else. But cut has to be done right. And in round stones, you want there's parameters that people try to hit, and there's arguments for and against different things. But and what we consider fancy cuts, which is anything other than round stones, I like a longer, slender diamond when it comes to an oval, a marquee, emerald cut, pear shapes. I love them when they're long and slender. I think it gives an elegance. That's my personal opinion. Go back to my charcoal gray cars. I like that color. I like this shape. Some people want them short and squatty. Some want them big in the centers. That's personal preference. If there's a master cutter cutting this diamond, he can make it beautiful no matter the length to width ratio that's out there. People get caught up into it. Oh, it has to have this length to width ratio and blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't. It depends on how skilled the artist was that cut this diamond. So many people are putting emphasis on a certification. The certification is just somebody's opinion. What that guy's opinion doesn't match up with what really something really is. What if he was wrong? You're buying an opinion based on a piece of paper. I use this a lot in the store when people are asking me, well, what's the certification? Blah, 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 blah. And do you agree with it? If you drive a Ford F-150 pickup and I go and put a Post-it note on it and say, in my personal opinion, I think this is a Chevrolet. What is your truck? It's still a Ford F-150. I don't care what the Post-it note, the certification says that it is. A piece of paper, you're not buying a piece of paper. You are buying a diamond that God Almighty made, and He only made so many of them, and they're they're the simplest of all gemstones. It's the most beautiful of all gemstones. I wish people could understand that really, really well, what a diamond truly is and how remarkable they are, and not get so caught up into the color. So, it's important, but it's not everything. Take the diamond and look at it as to what it really is. Say you've got your heart set on a G color. Wow, there's this eye color diamond. That's just beautiful. And it's there in front of you, and you take a G color and you can't tell the difference. Why in your mind would you say, oh, I have to have G? You don't. The eye colors can be more beautiful than the G's, depending on how they were cut. I'll get way too technical and way too everything else, and I shouldn't. And I get fired up to a certain extent because I see people misrepresenting what is out there.
He's very passionate about diamonds.
Yes, I am. But I'm, like I say, I get frustrated when people misrepresent in our industry, wholesalers and retailers alike, misrepresenting what something is. When they opened up offices in Mumbai, India, Hong Kong, several other places, there's no oversight, so to speak, in those places. They're on their 5th and 6th and 7th set of staff because they're not properly grading diamonds. They are, when we see a diamond that's 30 and 40% less at wholesale than another comparable diamond, there's a good chance that it was graded overseas in India, more than likely, or Hong Kong. And I'll say, quote unquote, a mistake was made. And that diamond is 2 or 3 grades off. The piece of paper says it's XYZ, but it's not. It's something completely different. I don't care if GIA says it is or not. They've scrambled serial numbers so that no one can tell where this diamond was graded or what had happened to it or where it came from, anything. No one knows. But we can see it and tell and go, wait a minute, this just isn't correct. And we know it's not correct.
Albert, it's Albert, you can't get it. Albert,
Okay.
it's like, hold on.
Okay.
Wait, he got it.
Okay.
Are you allowed to talk about the diamond that we set last week for somebody that didn't match up? Is that something?
I can do it in generalities.
You get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for, and right now we see people. Criminals are always going to be criminals. Crooked people are always going to be crooked people. That's the best way I can put this. We had someone bring a diamond in that he had bought someplace else and had to set it into a mounting. So it's a pretty diamond. It really was a very pretty diamond. We set it in our mounting. I had to do an appraisal on it, and it was quote unquote GIA certified. It had a serial number laser inscribed on the girdle on the outside edge. he had a what we call a dossier, a small a small certification from GIA stating what it was, but it was very strange looking. It didn't look like one that I'd ever seen before. So I took it upon myself to look up this serial number. What did GIA really say about it? I want to see the original certification, and through GIA we can look those things up. This diamond matched in dimensions, in the size of it, the millimeter dimensions, the top to bottom depth. It matched up. The serial number matched up. But when it came to the plot, basically when someone took this diamond and drew out the internal characteristics, it was nowhere close. It was a completely different diamond. What it was being stated as, thank you, Albert, squeaky toy and all. Thanks, Ippy. This diamond was being represented as, I'll just say, grade of Y. Let's just throw it out there so that we'll leave everybody innocent here. Of grade of Y. If I had been grading it as an independent grader, I have to look at it and say, no, it's actually a grade less. And the color was almost 2 grades less. But the dimensions were right. There was nothing ugly about the diamond. It just didn't match what was there. This diamond, the laser inscription of the serial number, there was something off about it. It was fuzzy, not like GIA normally does it. It put me in a very odd position because I had to tell this young man, let me show you what I found. I have no idea what he paid for it, where he got anything. I do know that that what he got was not what he thought he bought. One of the reasons he didn't buy the diamond from us is because of price. He felt that he had found this diamond someplace else that was 20% less. And whenever I'm looking at it going, yeah, I could have given you that same diamond probably for 10% less than he bought it for. I wouldn't have misrepresented the diamond. I don't care if GIA calls it an SI1 I color. If it's SI2 and it's J, then it's SI2 and J, and that's what I graded at, and that's what I had to appraise this diamond at. I did denote that it had a quote-unquote GIA certificate or a laser inscription, but something wasn't right. Did someone intentionally defraud this young man? I have no clue. But somewhere, someone along the line, something got messed up. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. A diamond cost what a diamond cost.
So I would guess it's really important to know where you as a jewelry store owner get your diamonds from. You do not buy diamonds from just anyone, right?
No. We have to adhere to something called the Kimberly process. My diamond vendors adhere to the Kimberly process. What the Kimberly process means is pretty much they can tell you almost a scoop of earth that the diamond came up out of, where it came up, the day it came up, everything about it, the original size of the mother stone. All these things have to be validated. It has to be documented in some way. It ensures that nothing is blood diamonds, that it wasn't, this diamond was not traded through terrorism or anything like that. It ensures that you're getting a real diamond. So many people right now with laboratory grown diamonds, which there's nothing wrong with a laboratory grown diamond at all. They're some of the most exquisite diamonds you could ever see. That being said, you have crooks and criminals who will take this diamond that is laboratory grown, that has a laboratory grown serial number etched into the side of it, polish it off, put a fake GIA number on it, just like what I told you with this young man a minute ago, and
but you don't know his was fake.
His was not. I tested it. It was not. It was natural. But they will do this, and they'll sell it to an unknowing jeweler as I need to sell a diamond. I need to unload a diamond. This was my grandmother's, boom, whatever it is. The jeweler takes it, assumes it is real. He sells it to someone, and guess what? It has a value of a quarter of what the natural diamond counterpart would have been. I'm not saying that if I buy something from your neighbor that I can't sell it, I can't. I don't do that. I don't like to do that. I want to make sure that everything that we get is verified in some way. And my vendors that I use can do that with the diamonds that we're getting. They can show you what it is. A quick story. This has been 10 years ago on a trip to Belgium. I had to buy a diamond for a young man, and he was very specific in what he wanted. And I was, right after I bought the store, I was kind of nervous because this was going to be a fairly large diamond. And if he didn't like it, then I would have to pay for the diamond, because once we, in Antwerp, if I say I want it, I got to buy it. That's all. It's a handshake deal. It's done. I have to buy it. If my customer doesn't like it, guess what? I just bought a diamond I don't need. As I'm buying this diamond, or trying to buy this diamond, my vendor, his name is Michelle Fischler, and I was explaining to him what was going on, what was going through my head, and he said, "Let me go grab something for you." He comes back a few moments later, and he has a small diamond paper. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this. We'll open up. It has a little folded up paper. He's got the original diamond paper that this came out of, and there's numbers written all over it. He said, "You know what this is?" I went, "I don't really know." He said, "This is the original diamond paper." And he starts to telling me all the things, deciphering, I guess, what these numbers meant. This and this and this is where it came from, where the scoop of earth is, worker so-and-so found it, blah, 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 blah. I always remember this number because it's written in red. 8303 was written across this little paper. And there were some initials beside it. He said, "Do you know what that means?" I'm like, "Well, no, I have no clue what this means." He said, "This is the 8,303rd 1 carat or better, 1 carat or larger, diamond that this man," he called his name, "has cut for me." He said he's one of my best cutters. He only cuts in 1 carat or better and certain clarities and better. They have to entrust him because he's the best that they've got. It amazed me that they knew how many diamonds this man had cut. They kept up with everything known to man about this. Long story short, he gave me the original diamond paper. I gave it to my customer. Blew him away that all of these things, we could tell you exactly where it came from. South Africa, blah, blah, blah. It was absolutely amazing.
Okay, and speaking of, because we're going to stop it in a second. We
Okay.
know cut is so important. How long does a apprentice have to wait before they are allowed to cut a 1 carat diamond?
10 to 12 years.
Yeah. So they don't just if they throw them in there, they're not cutting them well.
Oh no, oh no. A lot of your miscut, when I say miscut, they're not cut well diamonds, are going to be cut in a lot of third world countries. Labor's cheap. They don't really care what it comes out to be. A lot of chain stores, this is what they do. This is why they're quote unquote cheaper. They're inferior in so many ways. I'm not saying that you can't get a knockout diamond from a chain store. You can. You most certainly can. In fact, we had to match up one that came from a chain store the other day. Spectacular diamonds. We had to match it up. It was tough for us to match it up. It was so good. But as a whole, a lot of people who go to these chain stores, they're buying what the chain store has given them. They don't know. The chain store is just saying, "Here, sell this stuff." The workers don't know what it is. They can't tell you why it's cut this, why it's worth this much, why it's not worth this much, or why mine's better or worse or whatever. They can't tell you those things. We can. One of the reasons we have cut our inventory so much simply because I'm so dad blasted peculiar when it comes to what I want you to have. And when I say what I want you to have, when you come to the store, I want you to have the very best that you can afford for your money. You don't have to spend $1 billion to have something beautiful. You don't have to have a 2 carat flawless diamond to have something beautiful. If you've got $1,000, I want you to have the best $1,000, whatever it may be, or 500, or 50,000, whatever it is. I want you to have the best of that. I'm just built that way. When I got in this business, I was a watchmaker. Everything had to be perfect. And as I've grown and become a jeweler and now owner of a store, and I want I want the people who come in to know that I fully intend that everything they get is the best it can be. And if it's not, then we're gonna figure out a way to fix it and make it the best it can be. Whether I make money or lose money on it, it's gotta be best.
Okay, so that's it. Cut. Phil's number one, cut and color. Cutting and my battery's dying.